Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome back to Week. My name is William, along with my fiancée Laura and my brother Andrew. We run the attachment company. Monday morning, we're starting the week off in the warehouse pretty much as usual. We've got our first order ready to go. It is one of our Attach Works grading beams, the 1.5 metre wide version with the roller on this occasion. This is going to a customer to use on their Kubota U27. So we've drilled out one of our top brackets, we've bolted that down to the beam, and this is pretty much ready to go. If you're new here, Attach Works is our own brand, so it's good to see some more of our own products coming through the warehouse and getting out to customers and actually going to be put to use. If you watched last week's episode, you'll have seen me testing out one of these grading beams, the version without the roller, on a little Takeuchi TB216 at the weekend just past. If you didn't see last week's episode, enjoy some footage of one of these at work while I get this packed up. Tuesday morning, we're back in the warehouse again. Truth be told, I ran out of time yesterday between a couple of things that were going on. Kind of ran out of time to film anything yesterday afternoon. But let me run you through quickly what was going on. Spent a couple of hours making up an adapter for a customer that picked up an auger. I'll put some footage in here so you can see it. It's a 350mm S4 tungsten auger, but they needed it with a 2-inch hex hub. It's going on a JCB auger drive. I'll put a picture in here as well to show you what is going on. So we've made up an adapter, hex female to round male. That means they can use any of our standard drives, our standard augers even, whenever they need any other sizes. So they came, we built that, welded the hub to the shaft. They came and picked that up. Laura was down as well in the afternoon. We got a delivery that she brought down, a nice flag, kindly supplied by Cymex. We'll find a place for that to go. We had another couple of customers come in, look at some things, and then I spent the rest of the afternoon just getting back to some customer inquiries, and then I had to leave early for an appointment yesterday afternoon. So that was Monday. It's now Tuesday morning. Plan for this morning, the big Cangini flail we were working on last week. Going to button that up, make some hoses for it, get it ready to go today, and it's going with the set of pallet forks that came in yesterday as well. Once they're ready, then we need to nip over to the welders, pick up the stuff that we dropped off last week. Busy morning, let's go. Somebody's clearly excited for the day. Anyway, flail, do you mind? Flail's pretty much ready to go. Let's shoot over to the welders, pick up the parts we dropped off last week, because we need one of them to go with this order as well. Then we'll get back, get this packed up and get it ready to go. Parts collected from the welders, one of them being this component for a tilt bucket. I'll show you that later in the week when we come to build them up. Other one being a double pin cradle hitch for an 8000 max drive unit. We had to get the pins machined from 50mm down to 45mm and the dipper width taken out. So that's ready to go, painted up, ready to go. It's going with the set of 14-ton pallet forks from last week. Set of Eurofab pallet forks, floating pallet forks for a 14-ton excavator, and that's going to the same customer as the Cangini flail. The flail is a TC4 150, 1.5 metres wide with a bracket on it for a 14-ton excavator. It's going on the same machine as the pallet forks. We've used one of our Attach Works brackets, drilled it all out last week, bolted it up to the flail, made some hoses this morning as you've seen. We'll get couplers on that and that'll be ready to go. Strapped to the pallet, just needs wrapped up. Same with the forks and the auger bracket. Hopefully they can all leave today, be with the customer tomorrow. Alright, today's orders loaded and away. You might have noticed I am not in my usual pickup, I'm in the car for, well, in fact, I'll show you why the now. Stuff you have to deal with. See the issue? Fixed?
Fixed, thankfully. Not that I was much help.
Fixed. On to the next job. Tuesday evening, puncture, actually not puncture fixed, wheel changed. I'll get the puncture fixed. Get a new tyre on it in the morning. Spent some time there with Laura when she was in, having a bit of a meeting, just catching up on some things, working out some plans for the warehouse and so on and so forth. Then spent a bit of time assembling one of the tilt buckets. That was one that we got the bracket modified. One of two actually that we get the bracket modified at the welders, so I'll finish putting that together in the morning. I have another one of them to get prepared as well that's also going to need the brackets changing, which is slightly annoying, but a sale's a sale and it gets it out, so I'd rather see them out working, even if that means a little bit of modification required. So that's pretty much us for Tuesday. I'm going to drop this off in the morning to get a couple of tyres and the new steering rack fitted from last week. Then we'll get the rest of those buckets assembled and tackle Wednesday for there. But for the time being, that's us for Tuesday, isn't it? Going to get some dinner? Go get some dinner. Alright, it's Thursday morning, we are in the warehouse as usual. This week is shaping up to be a less than interesting one for you, unfortunately, but it is the point of these weekly episodes is to show you exactly what it's like running a business like ours. Some weeks you are wall-to-wall action. Sorry, I'm just looking for a knife here as I'm talking to you. Some weeks you're wall-to-wall action, plenty to show you out on site, stuff working, etc, etc, and sometimes you just get weeks like this where it's fairly run-of-the-mill. There's been a lot of computer work, a lot of desk work, but on that note, not a lot to show you from yesterday, but we did send out one order, a used tilt and coupler. It was a Geith tilt coupler for a 14-ton excavator. Sent that down to a customer in Wales. That was pretty much it for action yesterday. It was a day spent on the computer responding to emails and inquiries yesterday, but we have had a couple of pallets delivered this morning, so we'll crack both of these open. That one will be far more interesting than this one. Let's get them open and then I'll show you what is in them. Right, this is, as you can see from the packaging, Cymex parts. If you remember a good few months ago now, I'll link the episode up here if I can remember what one it's in. We supplied a planer with a modified drum for a customer down in the south of the country. Anyway, they had an issue that the planer stopped side shifting. This was back at the end of the week a few episodes ago where I was in Germany. They had an issue, the planer stopped side shifting. They had got a fitter out to it, they tried to diagnose it and they were convinced it was this valve block. Yep, you can see where this is going. Anyway, got a new valve block. It was sent directly from Cymex in Italy over to the customer on the basis that that's what was wrong with it. Fitted the valve block and yep, that was not what was wrong with it. What was wrong with it was the side shift cylinder, the side shift ram, which I should be able to take apart here and show you the exact reason, so let's try that. The customer has already had this apart, so you can see there is damage to the chrome. I've taken the nut off the back for the piston, but that's basically why the side shift has failed. Who knows what the cause of the failure to the ram is yet, but we'll get that. Say we'll get it back to Cymex. I'm not sure if they'll want it back yet, or if we can inspect it enough here to determine whether it is an actual warranty claim. But yeah, anyway, that issue, at least for the customer in the time being, has been resolved. We sent them a new hydraulic cylinder from Italy direct to them, so it's back on the machine, it's back working. And yeah, just thought I'd show you around those parts that came back. On a more interesting note, the other pallet that came in this morning, let's crack that open, I'll show you around that. We have done one of them, or a couple of them before actually. It is a little Intermercato GRX 15 grab, a 5-finger grab, 3 on one side, 2 on the other. We haven't done it with a rotator like that before though, so that's pretty cool to see. It is for a local customer to go on a Bobcat E26. Hopefully it's going back out tomorrow again, so I'll show you around it a bit more when we're packing it back up tomorrow. Alright, just like that, it's Friday morning already. We went from not having too much on to having quite a bit on this morning, but I have packed the first order of the day, the little Intermercato grab I quickly showed you yesterday. This is a GRX 15-5 5-finger grab with a Ball-Trotters rotator and the hitch bracket for a Bobcat E26. We have done one of these, a couple of these actually in the past. This is the first one we've done with a rotator. Here's a picture of one without rotator, same grab on a customer's Encon. As I say, this one is going with a bolt-on rotator, so that's pretty cool. They're nice, really nice little grab. They're well finished, strongly made, full hard docks, etc, etc. So that's going to a local dealer that we do quite a bit of work with, so thanks again to them for the order. I have also prepared another G-rake demo. That's going to a local customer. He's coming in with his little digger to put it on, hopefully this morning, take it out, get it a shot. I'm hoping I can get some time this afternoon to get to site. It is just local anyway, and actually see one working and show you one working, because it's something we haven't actually seen working in person yet. Other than that, there's a breaker order to go out this morning. I'm going to do that when I get back. GBN 45TL, it's pretty much ready to go, so I'll do that when I get back, because we need to shoot over to the welders. I'm expecting the customer in for the G-rake in the middle of the morning, and there's a couple of deliveries expected this morning, so I want to get these parts over to the welders, drop them off, pick up what we're picking up, and get back, get the breaker packed and get it ready to go. Busy morning, let's get after it. Coming in, you coming? No, you're just staying there. Right, okay then, just stay there. Back from the welders, parts dropped off, and we've had a delivery when we get back. I will show you around that in a bit. If you've watched any of our previous videos, you can probably work out what it is given the colour and who it came from. So yeah, the grab we packed this morning is ready to go. Unfortunately I didn't have the breaker ready, or I could have loaded SNT when they were in with the delivery, but yeah, get the breaker packed up, ready to go, and they can pick it up this afternoon. It is a GBN 45TL. You've probably seen us build up a load of these breakers on the channel before. I'm not building this one, it's going to a customer of ours who is a dealer, and he's supplying it on to his customer, so he's going to make the top bracket, fit the chisel, etc, etc. So just quickly checked it over there, make sure everything's in the box. We'll get this packed up and get it ready to go. Alright, straight up, this week's video is all over the shop, folks. So it is 5 PM Friday afternoon. Where are we at? Let me run you through quickly the update of what happened this afternoon. G-rake demo is back. Didn't even get a chance to go see it working. I've seen earlier it was going on a 3-ton Hitachi. Basically, it didn't do what the customer was hoping it would do. It was dragging a bit too much soil with them, and it wasn't taking stones out deep enough for what he was looking for. So honestly, I didn't get out to site to actually see it working. I'm not sure if it was the attachment wasn't right and maybe just wasn't right for what he was doing, but that was the whole point. He's local, I know them. It was as well going out, getting tried, rather than hoping somebody committed nearly £5,000 to a product that wasn't going to do their job. So that's back. And we got another delivery of grabs. A new one for us again. Trevi Benny Grabs, who are the same folks that make the tree shears that we got delivered a couple of weeks ago. Two sizes, an 02 and an 03. Both are selector grabs with rotation motor hoses, and they're just needing brackets on, ready to go. That's pretty cool. It's always nice seeing stuff arriving that you haven't seen before, we haven't stocked before. So that gives us an option for a small rotating selector grab. Small one is for a 2 to 3 ton machine. The bigger one is for a 3 to 4.5 ton machine. So that gives us a couple of options for grabs that we didn't have before. And on the subject of grabs, this is what came this morning, HPX drive, which is the same as the one over there that came the other day, or last week actually, although this one here has got a rotator on it. If you mind, a few weeks back when the auger torque delivery came, it came with some grab shells. Well, those grab shells are for that and that. So I'll put these shells on both of them hopefully tomorrow, because as I say, this week's video has been a bit all over the place, but that is what it is. We're not making it up here, we're not manufacturing it, it is what it is. So yeah, I'll build them up tomorrow, hopefully show you them. Had a customer meeting this afternoon for another attachment, speaking of things we haven't seen before. Hopefully if it goes together, there will be some cool things coming up in the next couple of weeks from, can you see that? From Cymex. So a couple of new things we haven't seen before, so stay tuned for that. In the meantime, that's us for Friday. I'm getting out of here. I'll catch you tomorrow. Alright, it's no Saturday morning, it is Saturday afternoon. Spent a bit of time this morning taking down some racking from further down the yard, bringing that up to our warehouse, so you look at getting that put in next week. Yeah, managed to lift some bays down whole with the forklift. It certainly speeded up the job. Now we're just spending a little bit of time out the back here. You might have seen in some of the videos it's been wet at the gate. It has been since we moved in. We're just spending a bit of time cleaning out the ditch. Hopefully that lets the water away from our gate. I think this tree's going to have to go. There you go. Right, next thing, and probably the last thing that I want to get achieved today, is let's turn these parts into a complete grab. So this is the Kinshofer shells that we got delivered in our last container delivery, and the HPX drive with rotator that arrived yesterday. So let's get them put together. It should be a relatively quick job, that's the whole point in it, but I've never actually done one of these before, so you're going to find out at the same time as me. And just like that, 30 minutes start to finish, we have a grab. That is a D09 HPX rotating selector grab. There's your rotator from there to there. There's the HPX drive, and of course we bolted up the shells. You can see it's that simple, the top caps come off, and that's what allows you to change the shells. We've got bolt-on cutting edges to go on these, but it turns out we've got the edges but no bolts, so we'll get some bolts on Monday, get that buttoned up. and then your hitch bracket will just sit on the top. That really is my favourite, or one of my favourite Kinshofer products. There is genuinely nothing else on the market, grab wise, that offers what that offers. It is a bit pricier compared to the conventional grab style, but the upsides being no greasing points, no pins and bushes, no wearing parts, and no hydraulic rams. And the additional bonus is 5-year warranty. So it is hard to argue with it, although it is a touch more expensive compared to the likes of the Trevi Bennies. I know these are smaller grabs, but you've obviously got hydraulic ram, you've got pins and bushes, you've got wear points, you've got grease points, you've got the associated hose work that goes with it. Yeah, so I think that's going to be our grab options moving forward. I think they offer two different things, or different enough things to warrant having two different options for grabs. I'd love to work up to having the 2, the 4, the 6 and the 9 in this version, and rotating and non-rotating. That will be the plan in the future. If I quickly show you this is the other HPX drive that came. So it's the same up to there, and just minus the rotator that would sit in the top that I showed you on the other one. We're just waiting on a sandwich plate coming for this in order to assemble this, and that'll be out to a customer hopefully next week. So yeah, that's what we've been on with today. There's one other thing for this week I want to show you. Check this out. As I say, this week's video is all over the place. I forgot to show you this the other day, and that looks quite good, doesn't it? No, not the bucket. The makeshift photo booth. Yes, that is a piece of flooring, but I think that should do fine. Well, we're basically needing some catalogue pictures for the Attachworks buckets, and some of the Trevi Benny stuff, the tree shears that came a few weeks ago. So I didn't want to spend, it wasn't a case of not spending too much money. I didn't want to spend too much time building something custom in here just now, because we will be putting a toilet and a little bit of a kitchen and stuff up the back of the building, and I'm not quite sure where everything's going yet. So we needed a solution that was quick and simple to put up, and I think hopefully that's it. So yeah, that's pretty much us for Saturday. That's the makeshift photo booth, that's the grabs. We should be back in here tomorrow for a couple of hours, so I'll see you then. Alright folks, it's 5:30 Sunday evening. Pickup is looking fresh, clean and washed, ready for the new week. Got the new steering rack fitted on that on Wednesday, I think, Thursday maybe. So that's fixed if you're following the story on that from a couple of weeks ago. As I said, it is the back of 5, Sunday evening, just in the warehouse, making use of the new makeshift photo booth, taking some pictures and videos. That is one of the little Trevi Benny tree shears that got delivered a couple of weeks ago. Most of them are going to the US, but I think we're going to keep maybe 1 or 2 of these 200mm shears. The fact it's sitting there, look out for next week's video. I'll do a bit of a walk around on that first thing, well, tomorrow morning, but first thing in next week's video if you are watching it. Other than that folks, it is, as I say, Sunday evening. I'm going to go up the road, see the end of the Open Championship Golf. If you've made it all the way to the end of this week's video, it is thoroughly appreciated as always. Let us know in the comments what you thought about it. Sorry it's a little bit all over the place this week, but it is just trying to show you the good, the bad, the ups and downs, and the reality of running a small business like ours. When you're down there, hit subscribe, hit like, let us know what you thought. That's us for this week. I'll catch you next week.